All right, everyone, here we are with another video with Invest for Tomorrow, and we're going to talk about ticker symbol and NDM. And before we jump into everything, I want to say welcome to all the first-time viewers and investors, and to all the subscribers, welcome back. I asked for everyone to tune on in, stay tuned for all the information that we're about to discuss. We're going to talk about offerings that have actually happened right now this week that's been announced yesterday, leading all the way towards the middle of this week, and we're going to get into details about that. We're going to talk about how ARK Invest continues to buy shares and what that means in the eyes of that institution and what that can mean for us as investors, and then also where the stock lies and what we need to watch for moving forward, right? There's some previous history here based off the charts. So stay tuned for it. Hit that like button for me to let me know you watch this video, and share this with your friends and community. I want everyone to receive this insight. This is big news, what we're about to discuss. So I previously talked about the resistance and support in a separate video. I did the chart analysis, right? And I just want to go ahead and briefly talk over it. The resistance is 851 and the support is 806. So you want to watch closely these points of reference, and the 50-day moving average is 882. Now, very important to keep in mind the highest point that this stock reached, and it was about $10 and some change. I'm not sure if I mentioned it in one of my videos or I just thought it to myself, but I think I did. I talked about the possibility that once this breaks through $10 or somewhere around $8 and it holds itself, that an offering could be on its way. Some people commented down below and said $15 to $20 there won't be another offering. Others said there might not be an offering until next year. And honestly, this blew me away. Before the end of the year, another offering, right? And this offering is the largest of them all from all year round this year. And it could make some people say, hey, they're taking advantage of investors and going ahead and cashing out, right, from these direct offerings. But these direct offerings were actually, discussed with institutional investors, and it was agreed upon. It's not like something that is just happening out of the blue. This is a direct offering. So not just Nano Dimensions is agreeing on making this happen. There's votes, and institutional investors like ARK Invest and other institutional investors are, putting in their input to make these things happen. And that's why when these offerings have happened, I've noticed that ARK Invest particularly is making larger and larger purchases. And we're going to jump in on that in just a moment. But I wanted you guys to see the resistance levels and support, the 50-day moving average, and the fact that this is the largest offering that they've done. And I didn't think it was going to reach before the end of the year another one. I think we could have seen one in January if this held itself up above $8, which I think it most likely could have. And they jumped on it real quick. So let's see here the offering. So on December 27th, right, Nano Dimensions entered into a definitive securities purchase agreement and with institutional investors to purchase an aggregate of 33 million, the whole freaking 3333334 of company's American depository shares. So 33 million, right? Representing an equal number of the company's ordinary shares at a net par value of $5 per share at a purchase price of $7.50. So this could fall anywhere between, right? We already saw some of the effects of this today. It could fall anywhere between $5 to $7.50, and if it doesn't break through $7.50, it'll hold itself up between $7.50 to $8. That's the best case scenario, $7.50 to $8. Worst case scenario, anywhere between $5 to $7.50. Now, the registered direct offering is going to give gross proceeds of about $250 million in total. This is the largest direct offering. Now, the share price, very interesting enough, the purchase of the previous direct offering was $6 at 180 million of, right, total gross proceeds, and now it's larger. And they've been doing this so strategically that it's been almost like affecting the stock during that period of time. And it's like a discount per se to these institutional investors. They're getting in on these prices because they're already seeing the value more than what they're actually doing it for. So this is why this is so important, and I really want to share my thoughts on this. When they decide, right, a purchase price, like it says here, $7.50, they see that the stock is at a point where it's valued more than $7.50. So institutional investors agree with this because right now the stock was holding itself up between $9 to $10, and if the bullish run continued, this could actually break through $10. And what they're doing is they're sending it down to $7.50. This is their opportunity to jump in. It affects the share price a little bit for the meantime. Sometimes there's been times where these direct offerings actually make the stock plummet and go downwards for some time. But so far, in the previous and most recent direct offerings, it falls down during the period of time of the direct offerings, and then it starts to bounce back and it hits newer highs and it continues, the healthy run. And they're basically taking advantage of the fact that, hey, right now, if I was to buy at $9 or $10, I'm paying at a premium. Nano Dimensions themselves is saying, hey, we're going to give them to you for $7.50. So when they jump into this agreement, this is a discount in the eyes of any investor when they look at the chart before the direct offering even happened. So very interesting. I believe these direct offerings are giving opportunities to institutional investors to put in more cash and take a larger stake in their investments with Nano Dimensions and quote unquote get it at a discount compared to the price before the direct offering. Because every time the direct offering happens, we're above the direct offering share purchase price. Interesting, right? So I found that interesting. And then also, it's going to give more money this time. Well, obviously the share prices have gone up. So the direct offerings are getting larger as the share price gets larger as well. And some people say, hey, they're cashing out on us. They're taking advantage. I mean, hopefully they're doing something good with it. They're going to do innovation and growth with it. And the fact that ARK Invest continues to participate and they're not shaving down their positions is interesting to me. So here we are with the expected date to close everything and occur by that time period, which is the 30th, and that's this Wednesday. So after Wednesday, direct offering should be closed out, should be over, and we'll be able to see where the stock has landed and where it's going, right? We need to see though, because there's been previous, right, direct offerings that have actually made the stock go down for some time, right? We saw that here, and it brought it down really fast, and then it started to bring itself back down, but it didn't break through the $6 mark, and that's what we want to watch. This should not break through the $7.50 mark. If it does, then we have another support down here, which is $6.79 to watch closely. But right now, it's holding itself up. This is going to continue tomorrow. It's going to continue Wednesday. Maybe this could have been the worst of it, what we just saw, and it's kind of just going to hold itself. But I find it interesting that every time their share price for these direct offerings, right? Last time it was $6. We were above $6 at like almost $8. They brought it down, but these institutional investors are getting at $2 less or a whole dollar less than where we're at. So it's almost like a discount opportunity for institutional investors. And if you've been following along as things have happened, you could be an investor getting it at a discount as well. So very interesting to me. Every single time their share price is less than where we're currently at, and the premium is anywhere up here, and this is the discount, and then obviously their goal is to end up back up here and then continue to newer premiums and newer highs. And I think that's the goal there. And an institutional investor like ARK Invest loading up on shares is interesting to me. Who would average up in their right mind, right? And now they're kind of like averaging down, quote unquote, but they're still averaged up by much. Like they're almost like at a break-even point where the more shares they continue to buy, the more their average goes up to the point where they're going to have to stop purchasing at some point. I think that if they break through the 5 million mark, I don't think they're going to go much further. And if they do, I mean, these people are loading up big. So let's see here. Let's see here. So this is today's. Let's see yesterday's first. So this is not yesterday's. Excuse me. This is the 24th. So here we are with Nano Dimensions, and their total amount in their portfolio is 4,580,685. So I had stated in previous videos when they were around 3.6 to 3.8 that they're not that far off from 4 million. If they make it to 4 million, I see them making it to 4.5 million. And then I didn't say much more after that. Once I saw them getting closer to 4.3, I knew that they were going to make it to 4.5. And if they do, they're going to make it to 5 million. If they continue this behavior in amount of shares, I can see them loading up that much. Now, there's a point where ARK Invest is going to have to stop buying Nano Dimensions. I don't know if anybody's understanding that. They won't have to sell, but they're going to have to stop, because the more they average up, the more break even they are, and then where's their profit? Like, it makes no sense to just keep buying all the way to the top of the hill unless they see like a 10x or even more opportunity here with Nano Dimensions, and they're going to be buying for a while. But I think 5 million shares is a big lump sum. I mean, that's going to be their largest position out of most of these stocks. There's only one larger position here with this, but this is their largest out of all the ticker symbols that we see here. And they're on their way to 4 million, almost 4.8, and then they're going to hit 5 million. And here we are. This is the updated one. This is today, as of today. Nano Dimensions, 4.7 million. So 4,709,133 shares. Look at this. The market value went down by 2 million. They went up by 200,000, right? That's how confident they are. And their market value might go down a little bit more, and they're going to continue to load up. This right here is going to end up being their top 15 to top 10 if they continue in this trajectory, in this direction. And I find it very interesting because Nano Dimensions was way down here. It was at the bottom of this list. It almost reminds me of Raven Industries. That's where it was at, almost around that amount of shares back in September 30th, which I talked about in my previous video. And they've already 10x their total amount of shares. And I think they've more than 10x their market value. And Raven Industries, they've been loading up on it. I mean, I've been seeing it since they were, you know, with a few thousand shares, and they went over 100,000, and look where they're at now. They're almost at 500,000 shares. But very interesting. We need to watch it very carefully. And here we are with Nano Dimensions position. And I would love to see your guys' thoughts. What do you think about this? How do you feel about the offering? And do you think this is going to fall anywhere between $5 to $7.50? Or do you think this is going to stay above $7.50 and it's going to fall somewhere between $7.50 and $8? Do you see this having a bearish run for some time and then starting to pull back up like one of the previous offerings did? Or do you see this running right up after the offering and working its way up 10 plus over the trajectory of the next couple of weeks and month? I look forward to seeing everyone's comments and thoughts down below. Big news here. Share this with your friends and community. Don't forget to hit the like button. And if you're a first-time viewer and you haven't subscribed already, smash that subscribe button. Click on the bell so you don't miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community. Once again, and thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.